Happy Friday. Welcome back. Thanks to everyone that tuned in last week. I'm going to come back with at you with another 45. Before I get into the 45, I want to congratulate Jeff DeCook on answering last week's question. The second posthumous number one hit in the U.S. was Me and Bobby McGee by Janis Joplin. Great job. We're going to move on. And one more thing I want to mention before I get on the records is Dave Arlano. Thank you for the shirt. I want to make people aware of mental wellness. If you haven't looked into 988 or heard advertisements, please pay attention to them. But thank you for this shirt, and I'm wearing it with pride. And so I want to move on and talk about this week's record, but I got a little story before. When I was in 1980, that Christmas, I got a transistor radio, and this transistor radio was made by General Electric. And I remember, some of the first things I listened to. I actually listened to Jimmy Carter's farewell speech on January 14th of 81 that year. And by April and everything, I had been listened to a lot of music on the radio. And one of those songs that kept coming on was "Kiss on My List." And I remember this got my attention. It's built. It was label is RCA Records. And if you know a little bit about RCA was developed right after World War One. By General Electric bought American Marconi and established RCA as the subsidiary of General Electric in 1919. And by 1929, RCA actually bought the gramophone company that I'm going to talk about a little bit, because that's where this logo comes from, is the gramophone company. The story of this logo is the dog on it, his name is Nipper, because he used to nip at people's the heels and back of their legs. And the gramophone that you see on here used to have a black cone, and it used to be the old cylinder machine that Edison created, and that used to play records like this. These are cylinder records that they used to spin. They used to be slide onto a cylinder, and you'd put the needle on it this way, and it would spin. The title of whatever song you had would be etched in on the edge of the wax. So these were made of wax, and it had a nice little container you could put it in, and that's where it started. But this guy that did the painting was actually the brother of the owner of the dog. The dog had passed away when he was painting this picture of the dog in the record player. The dog actually lived from 1884 to 1895, so it lived a great life. Nipper lived a great life, but he was also set immortally in a painting. And you can see that this gramophone, the cone is gold, was kind of brass looking. The painter wanted to get a brighter brass one to brighten the painting up. So he went into the gramophone company in Great Britain, and said, "Hey, can I get a brass one?" And the owner was there, and he was like, "Listen, I'll give you a brass one, but I also want you to change the picture of the record player to the Berliner disc player, which would play discs similar to this, which were 78s back then." And so history was made. This guy ended up buying the painting and making it his logo. So in 1929, when the RCA, a subsidiary of GE, came and bought up this company, the logo came with it. So just an interesting story about Nipper and RCA. There's so much you could dig into about RCA and its influence and why it was established. It was almost established for security for the United States and the radio transistors and things like that. The United States wanted control of the radio communications, which was, it's an interesting story. And if you ever get a chance, look it up. But RCA Victor became its name when they bought the gramophone company. It became Victor RCA, but the dog's name is Nipper. So we're going to get a little bit into the "Kiss on My List." "Kiss on My List" was played a lot on that GE transistor radio. It's kind of coincidental it was a GE radio. But it was created by Hall & Oates in 1980. The album it was on was Voices, and this album came out. It was kind of a banger. It had "Kiss on My List." It had "Every Time You Go Away." It had "You Lost That Loving Feeling." Quite a few hits on that record, but this is one of the hits that came off of it. And it is their second #1 hit. Rich Girl, they was a hit in 1977. This was their second, and this came out on April 11th. It hit #1, April 11th, 1981. It was their third release off that Voices album. But an interesting story about this song is this song was co-written with Jana Allen, and she was the sister of Daryl Hall's girlfriend, Sarah Allen, and Sarah Smile. That's where that song came from. But Jana was trying to break into the music industry, and so they co-wrote this song together, and they did a demo tape. And they were going to take this to the company and say, this is a great song for Jana to sing. And Daryl Hall's manager got a hold of it, and he's like, I think you need to keep it. I think you need to think you need to sing it. And he didn't even need to re-record his vocals on it. They took that demo tape and used those vocals on the actual recording. They added the background vocals, the synthesizer, and the drum machine, which Daryl Hall has kind of always said that he wasn't crazy about. He thought the drums sounded dinky in the song. I think they sound fine. I mean, I don't know any more or any better, but I like the song. Some people, Daryl Hall believes that, Kiss on My List isn't really a love song. It's kind of sarcastic, like, you're the next thing on my list. You check it off, and not making it sound like it's not big a deal. But people look at it different ways, and it depends who you talk to, whether it's a love song or not. But this song was a hit, and actually, Eddie Van Halen admitted to Daryl Hall at one time that he took the synthesizer part off of it, which influenced the song Jump. So this is your Fridays 45. Great song. My question this week is simply, what is your favorite Hall & Oates hit? What's one do you enjoy and why? Go ahead and put it in the comments. Let me know. And I hope you have a great weekend. Be safe, and I'll see you on the flip side.